I'm going to jump into a quick demo of Getro Connect. One is contacts. So you can import contacts from many different places. Your LinkedIn first degree connections of the team. You can import a CSV file from an event that you may have hosted or from your CRM. And this starts to aggregate all the contacts from your network into one place. And then what we're doing is updating this information with their LinkedIn profile data as it changes over time. So it really becomes one place where you can see people across the network of your team and run all kinds of different searches. We're adding search filters all the time. In some ways, most of these are very similar to LinkedIn Sales Recruiter or LinkedIn Sales Navigator or LinkedIn Recruiter to really just try to help you find the people you're looking for as fast as possible. We recently launched a filter where you can use natural language to search. We do have Boolean search terms here in the job title. So if you're looking for a product manager and maybe you want that person to be in New York, you can start to see how like chopping down the list over time. And maybe you want someone with at least 5 years of experience. And if you're doing a search for a company, maybe you want them to have at least 2 years working at the current company. And maybe that's an indicator they might be ready to move. So in the demo network for us, we have 22 folks like this. From here, you can create a list, and we'll go into lists in a second. But you can share that list with the founder, and then they can make requests. We also have a few really interesting filters that LinkedIn doesn't have. One is around company funding stage. So you can see folks who have a certain amount of experience at different funding stages of company. Also, if they've experienced growth from one stage to another. And this is super helpful when you're trying to figure out, does someone have the right type of experience for the company you're recruiting for? Also, you can search across a specific period of when someone worked at a company. So we're seeing lots of customers using this for reference checking, back channeling. If you want to see, do we know anyone in the network who worked at Uber in engineering at the same time as a founder that we're thinking about investing in, for example, you can use that criteria to find that information. So the next thing I wanted to jump into is lists. If you want to share contacts outside of your team, that's where lists come in. So I'm going to jump into another demo network here to show lists. When you create a list, you can create it from a search like we were seeing a minute ago. You can also create lists from this tab here. There's a couple different kinds of lists you could create. For contacts, you might want to create a list of 5 or 6 people that you want to share with a founder for some reason. You can set auto updates on lists, which is what Chris was talking about. If someone changes jobs in your network or one of your team members connects with someone at an event and they have a certain criteria that you want to track, you can set up these auto updates. You can also use AI in the platform to match your contacts to open roles from specific jobs. So you can walk through each of those really fast. Here's an example of the list that I created of chief revenue officers. And if I want to share this list with founders, I just click share and I just open this link in a new tab. You're going to be able to see it here. And this is just an open link that I can share with founders. It's possible to password protect this link if you feel like this is private information, but it's also really nice when you don't do that because founders can just see the information and quickly react to it. If you are updating this list over time, founders may want to subscribe to it with their email or Slack, and that makes it really easy for them to see updates without you having to push them back to the list over time. Another type of list is the auto update list. So here's an example of that where I've set the criteria of sales manager, sales director, VP of sales, and the job title. And when I set up this auto updating network, it's just going to keep updated over time. So if someone in our network all of a sudden meets that criteria, they will get added to this list. And then the third type of contact list is around the job matching with our AI. So in this case, we grabbed a role here, software engineer for core product at Notion. And you can see what's happening here. The AI is looking at the job description, parsing out all of the key information. So location, company size, and some of the criteria around that job. You can change it if you want to update this information. And then we're also looking at all of the people who are in your contact database, looking at their LinkedIn profile information, parsing that for skills, location, years of experience, and making these recommendations. From here, you can search through these recommendations we're making. You can easily kind of add these people over to a list, and then you can share that list with founders in a very similar way. The last thing I want to talk about is lists of companies. So we talked about lists of contacts. We also just launched a new set of features around being able to build and share lists of companies. So this is really most useful for the sales use case. So if you have a founder who is prospecting and they're looking to sell their product to more companies, they might share a list of their prospects with you, asking you for help. You can easily put those companies into a list and then quickly see who do we know at each of the companies that our founder is trying to prospect for. You can see their roles. You can easily filter by job title, company funding stage to really try to hone in on the ICP for that company. And from there, you can share this list and offer instructions to founders. You can also ask for intros from folks within your network. So if you click this button, you can share a link, and this creates a page where you could share this list with, you can share it with LPs, you can share it with other people on your team. If you have an expert network, you can share it with specific people to say, hey, I'm trying to help this portfolio company with sales. Can you take a look at this list and see if you know anyone? And from this list, those individuals can connect their LinkedIn and easily see who they know. For example, my LinkedIn's connected, and these are the people in my network who I know at these companies, and I could offer this intro. We're also making this functionality available to your portfolio companies. So they can log in to Getro, they can build these lists, and they can share the lists and ask for introductions. So this is super powerful.